Ever since The Force Awakens came out, one question has plagued the Star Wars fandom. Is Rey a Mary Sue? Rey was often accused of this poor writing trope, but her fans would usually reply by just accusing other Star Wars characters of having the same flaw, like Luke or Anakin. This topic has been very thoroughly covered in a great series of videos by IDR Labs, link in the description, scoring Rey and other prominent Star Wars characters based on how much of a Mary Sue they are. To give a brief definition, here's the criteria applied by IDR Labs in their videos. A Mary Sue is an overpowered, perfectly good character with no good in-universe explanation given for their power level. A Mary Sue is typically instantly liked by all the established characters, yet at the same time doesn't have much of a strong personality for themselves. So Mary Sues tend to be characterized only by their perfectly selfless goodness and their hyper-competent powers. This makes them not feel like actual characters in the story. This was a contentious issue with the Disney sequel trilogy. Until The Rise of Skywalker came out, everything was explained and we learned that Rey is not, in fact, a Mary Sue, just a horribly written character. But with that in mind, IDR Labs analysis videos were fantastic and interesting in their own right, so I want to contribute one of my own about a character that I've always liked and wondered about, Galen Marek, also known as Starkiller from The Force Unleashed. So let's go through the IDR Labs Mary Sue criteria checklist and see how our favorite Secret Sith apprentice stacks up against the competition. The first criteria is whether or not Starkiller is overpowered. This is a no-brainer. It's Force Unleashed. The second criterion is an unexplained power level. For this one, I'm gonna have to give Galen a partial score. His power is explained in that his father was a Jedi and he's been personally trained by Darth Vader since a young age. But at the same time, I'm not convinced he should be able to do things like this. The third criterion is whether or not he's perfectly good. Considering he's a Sith apprentice who hunts down Jedi for a living, I'm gonna go with no. But then again, I guess he also does turn to the light side and become a Jedi, help form the rebellion and all that, so I guess I'll give him half a check mark for moral effort. The fourth criterion is no personality. I guess it's up to debate, but having played the games, I've gotta say Starkiller isn't exactly the most engaging protagonist. His blank slate personality works great for the video games, but I think he still deserves a check here. The fifth criterion is that he's instantly liked. This one is laughable, as he's a secret Jedi hunter hated by pretty much everyone he meets throughout the story, so safe. Now the sixth criterion is feels like wish fulfillment. Yeah, okay. Then the seventh and final category is never being embarrassed or failing. Well, Starkiller gets beat up pretty bad and falls into Darth Vader's traps like every 3 seconds until the end when he's just straight up killed by the Emperor, so I'm gonna give him a pass here. This gives Galen Marek, Starkiller, a total IDR Labs Mary Sue score of 4 out of 7. Comparing him with the other characters already analyzed by IDR Labs, this places him slightly on the higher end, with a final result of 57%. And yes, IDR Labs did include the high ground and sand in their original video series. It's really funny, so I suggest you go check it out sometime. Anyway, I had a blast making this video, so I might do another one someday. Feel free to put any character request you have in the comments or suggestions for any other more data-driven Star Wars analysis you'd be interested in. And of course, may the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time for more Star Wars.